Today, hello, we're going to talk about my dream. My dream is to pray for someone to heal immediately. I see a sick man, I come, you heal, he's healed, sort of like they say, get up and walk, etc. And well, listen then, as I am interested in this, so I will share with you everything that I was able to find. And you'll see, it's insolent. You too surely want to heal someone, to heal like that. So here we are going to make a video, 2 videos. Moreover, we are going to make another one afterwards on healing prayers. This is the first video, and this video is more on the side, a little prayers, so it's a little religious, it's a little something with the divine, and the other, it will be more on something a little more in rationality, but still with this notion of prayer. So first video, then we ask ourselves a question. It is to say a prayer to get a cure. So you're going to say, oh, we prayed for such and such, it didn't really work out, or things like that. I'll tell you the story. Before I tell you the story, don't forget, liking, sharing, and sharing healing prayers is important. Share it with other people, because that way they will pray too. There will be plenty of healing. You know, before I tell you the story, there are people who have done studies to see if prayers help healing, and they realized that indeed. They had greater healing success when groups prayed. You see, there are, even in China, where children will talk about it again, where sentences have written species. It's not really prayers were made and healings were obtained in an amazing way. I talked about it in the second video. So first thing first, the story I'm going to tell you is about a king whose name was Rizkiao. This king he was very, very close to God, so there was one Talmud at the time that existed called the Book of Healing. When someone was sick, he would take the book, open it, get healing. He said, for example, you're sick of this, so take this herb in the morning and you'll be well. Everyone healed the king. What do you think he did? As he loved God so much, he said people no longer pray to God. He turns to God more to heal, which is one of the things that he turned to God most for. He said, he said like that he wanted to say prayers. He wanted people to say prayers. So he said he took the Book of Healing. So some say he destroyed it, others say he hid it. And all the objects that were like that. You see, there was the rod of Moses with a serpent. What gave the caduceus as a symbol in France of medicine? Now, he took it and destroyed that too, because people see him as a cult to that caduceus that healed everybody, and so forth. So all the objects, all the books that got healing, he destroyed them. It's like today we destroy all the medical books, and we say, no, now you go. Do that. Praying then is what he leaves you, was prayer. Well, there are those who didn't want to, who didn't join. I know that if I had been at the time, I don't know if I would have, because it is difficult to pray. Sometimes we have faith in this prayer, but faith in prayer is extremely important, as we will see, and then it destroys it, and then people there. History tells us again that people wanted to find the book and they found parts. There are those who said, but you were cured of such an illness. What were they reading the book for you? To you who did research and books to say like that it was transmitted, that there was part of this wisdom which was transmitted in China, part in the Maghreb, part in India, part like that. It was shared, there were them. There have therefore been healing sciences which since that time have been transmitted, have therefore been transmitted to peoples. So now we're going to move on that. What about healing prayers? So we'll see all over the region. already in the one that is dearest to me, that is. You have already made a video where I explained how Hinduism and Judaism had a relationship and even an extraordinary religious proximity. So in Judaism, as in Hinduism, moreover, we use names in Hinduism, we remember it mantras in Judaism, we call it Shemot. That is to say that we are going to use names which have power. What is called the Hadibur body is the power of speech. So the power of the word has two meanings. First, when you tell someone you are going to heal, it has a power. That is to say that the word in Hebrew, word and thing, means the same thing. That a word can be transformed into something. That's important. And then as long as there are names, for example, there is the name, the famous divine name, well known what, but well, if you put the vowel zo on each letter, it's a healing name that's used in prayer. There are many, many, many healing names. There are many names of angels who are healers. Raphael, for example, he is a healing angel. There are also names that are more complex. So I'm not going to mention them here because I had already made a video. I had mentioned them in 12 names, not 20, etc. And here I would just like to say that there are names like that we will repeat them like a mantra. They are healers. So there are the healing mantras in Hinduism. There are the healing words in Judaism. There are special prayers everywhere. And here we come to something that is important because we are going to have an aid to the healing prayer thanks to these words. So this is very important. Then, in all other religions, in Judaism, in Hinduism, in Christianity, in Islam, we have the importance of faith in healing. That is to say, we believe, we are sure that God can heal, and apart from that, we are sure that He wants to heal us. So prayer is a way that He's going to have to heal us, but prayer tells us, the texts tell us in. You see, it's telling us prayer, it's a way of changing oneself by having a personal change. So this means that what we are going to ask is going to be achieved much more easily. In Islam, God is called the God of healing, so actually we see that there is also this direct relationship with the divine who brings healing, and that is something. It is important, and we will find this healing island every time. But on the other hand, you have to have this completely strong faith. What you're going to say, yes, I believe I can be healed by God. Yes, I believe He will heal me. And even some go further because they thank God for this healing before He even has the healing. So it's true that when someone is in a hospital, when there are doctors who have put them on their head saying, oh, they're there, what you have is very serious. And this and that, there are people who are asked to have an operation who are going to be asleep. And then and it's difficult to have this idea of who will necessarily have the healing, but it will have to be done. There is, and I quoted this to you in quite a few of the videos, and I made 3 videos lately that you can see about joy. Joy according to cannabis, especially those of the masters. Residex is a means, it's a nonetheless. This is a kind of key to getting our prayer fulfilled. Joy is the key. So we're going to say someone is sick when you have someone sick in your family. Being cheerful is a little difficult, the owl a little, but you have to do it. And I had quoted to you this master who is a contemporary someone, a Ramat whom I know well, who had done. So he was very sick at one point. The doctors had him more or less condemned, if we can say, and he just whistled and sang. And he sang the songs, whistled, hummed, etc. And by force he healed. In the same sense, you have Norman Cousins who had a joint disease. I believe it was a suspended article on Kinocente, and that he wrote $1 besides on it. And when he put on funny movies. Charlie Chaplin, I don't know them, he watched this all day. He did everything he could to be so happy. That's how he healed this disease, which is extremely difficult to cure, and he healed. So you see, there are keys. There's this prayer that's important, and this faith in healing is the key, which is joy, and of course the healing words, which are called mantras in Maud, etc. And still, when it's the names of angels, well, it's a healing word, because it's very often the names of angels. When we talk about Raphael, it means she. It's a name of God. She. When you see that the Muslims have taken this word, she and they have it, they took it upside down and upside down. It makes an ayn. And when Raphael is a god, heals Rapha. It is healing. There you go. And so it is, God heals the word Raphin, in particular, which is used with combinations of letters. It is very interesting, and which also allows healing. And so in the name of God, you'll find that there are many endings of names that are used to create healing words. Alright, so see you soon for the next video, which will be a little different, always on the same topic.